Who's ready for some fucking science? Today I'm going to be using a fucking game booster for science. So if you want to join me, then you can. If you don't want to join me, you don't have to. So yeah, let's use a game booster today. So, Razer Cortex, what is it? It's a glorified game booster slash system optimizer. I don't know why the fuck I'm holding this, but guess I dying. Anyway, let's get into Razer Cortex. It's this glorified game booster. You can earn currency as you play. Their whole crypto thing. You can earn rewards while boosting your system performance. Is it full of shit? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm here to figure out if Razer Cortex is full of shit or if simply just using it and properly maintained Windows will actually be the same, if not equal to, the benefits of Razer Cortex being stacked. So there are some things for it that it does do, and it actually does do decently. And that is with the game booster, you can um, disable certain features and Windows, and well, disabling certain services in the background while playing some of your games on Razer Cortex. Now, they have a lot of services in the background that are running that you can disable. A lot of things that you can completely get rid of and stuff like that. So it is nice that they do have some of these services that you can select, and, like when you're gaming, and then of course they have Booster Prime. These are games that if you have in your inventory, that will actually have some benefits. Things like Counter Strike, Lost Ark, Elden Ring, Roblox, uh, Valheim, whatever it's called, League of Legends version. I don't know what that is. Cyberpunk, Overwatch, basically just most of the most popular games with Booster Prime. So you can, if you want to use the program, you don't have to sign into a Razer account. You could just use a guest account. That's what I did because I am not giving any of those people my information, because Razer is known to be really scummy when it comes to selling your information and just forcing these bullshit ads basically down your throat. So like now you see Raid Shadow Legend. Close it, a new ad's going to show up. So there's really nothing you can do with it. It's free software, free, which means that you are pretty much the product. So yeah, we're going to be using Razer Cortex. We'll be testing a mountain of, actually just testing one game, and that is the most unoptimized game ever, 7 Days to Die. So we're going to be playing 7 Days to Die with default settings with, of course, the quick CPU power plan, basically. We're going to be using Cortex Game Booster and see if that has any difference at all. So, going over everything in Razer Cortex, it does seem like there are some things that are actually okay for a new user that is maybe trying to clean and keep Windows maintained, but they don't really know how to press Windows key R and then type in temp into your run command and then clear out everything in your temp. Maybe they're too lazy and they just want to do some simple cleaning. This is okay, probably about a 4 out of 10. Now, personally, I'm not trying to completely bash Razer for their software, but their software is garbage among to other people. I've had friends that have multiple issues with Razer headsets and their garbage software, and them trying to sell you shit and having to have you make an account and have all this other stuff. I am not about that with especially a company that makes like keyboards and mice and headsets. I'm not gonna have that. Just having an account just to use something that I purchased for $100+ and then just have adware in there. No, I'm not gonna use it. Sorry, Razer, but they do have some actual okay tools here, like a system kind of inspector to show you like everything that you have in your system, which is okay. You could probably just pull up MS Info and it can tell you. They have defragging games that are on a hard drive, which before this actually would defrag games on an SSD, which is not good at all. So if your game's on a hard drive, my Black Ops 3 is actually on a hard drive, and frag that game, which may help, may not. I have no clue, but it might help. And you have deals and rewards, which is the sketchy adware part that I don't like at all. So deals here that tell you all the games are on sale, or maybe they have like these bundles. They're just trying to force, and of course they have the Opera GX trying to force you all this crap basically on you. They got Raid Shadow Legends here, the ad. They got all this stuff that they're trying to basically force down you, these giveaways, and you're basically giving them information to hopefully win something. Most of the time, you probably won't win anything. Sell your data to some advertiser or something. Rewards, which is another their crypto thing to where if you play a certain amount of the game, you're going to earn this really tiny amount of Razer Silver. You have to be constantly having the program open in the background, and then that program's going to be probably sniffing out data, probably trying to sell you stuff. It's just a cycle that you're going to get out of. Overall, first initial thoughts of basically the reworked Razer Cortex. I have used this in the past. One time when I had like a GT 1030, it did make like a slight difference, but maybe the program was a little bit older than I was using a Core 2 quad, so probably might not be a good idea. But anyway, Razer. This is my initial thoughts of Razer Cortex. I think there's some good going for it, and there is some bad. So I'm hovering around maybe a 4, maybe a 5. If they had just bare bones this thing and made it to where it was actually a dedicated game system optimizer, that would be okay. But I'm not real keen on system optimizers, so um, yeah, this still is not good. But I'm going to be testing it just for science to see if it works. So enough stalling. Let's get right into our benchmarks of playing some 7 Days to Die and seeing if it actually does make a difference when playing 7 Days to Die. So my frame rate might be capped. I have tried this before, but my frame rate was capped. So hopefully rebooting somehow uncapped my frame rate. So I'm going to be booting up the game just like normal using the quick CPU power plan. Then I'm going to be using Razer Cortexes with, of course, their game optimizations and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to be diving straight into it, and I hope you learned something out of this and not to trust companies like this and give information. So yeah, maybe research before you rely on some game stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna be done talking about Razer Cortex. I'm just gonna show off some gameplay. I'm commentating through it to see, describing things. So yep, that's I guess the unique video for my comeback. I guess I haven't uploaded a video in forever, so might as well start off a new upload with be testing out some garbage software. I'm gonna be diving right into some 7 Days to Die for you. Okay, so diving right in, 7 Days to Die, or actually Razer Cortex decided to immediately open. So I guess my plans for I'll initially start with default settings has completely changed because Razer Cortex decided, hey, you opened up a game. Now time to open it and time to activate our game boosting algorithm. Anyway, so let's load our world here. I have a small sample world as the default, of course, map. So let's see if Razer Cortex actually holds up of bringing some of those system things down. So we're loading a world here, and it's of course got the RAM usage up there, and then you have the memory usage and all the other stuff. I do have MSI Afterburner open, so see what percentages is being used and what isn't. And for some reason, I wonder if my frame rate cap actually worked or if this game's just going to hate me. So I don't know if this game's locked down. It's probably not locked down to 60, but maybe I have DXVK open in the background. Maybe I have DXVK used in this, and maybe it's locking it down to 60. Who knows? But I guess we'll dive into some 7 Days to Die here. So starting off, seems quite stable enough. The CPU usage is definitely a little bit lower. I hover around maybe 34, so it's using about 26, 31. It's running, right? So let's go to above the map here. Let's try to get to a bigger town, I guess. One of the bigger towns. We're just going to walk into a general direction. I mean, it's using the RAM usage will slowly climb over time because there is things that are caching in the background, but yeah, seems okay so far. Doesn't seem overly stuttery, or there is a hitch right there, but kind of walking around, the frame times are okay. Zombie right here. Hello, sir. Knock him out. Then, of course, kill him. Blew his head off. Walking around, I mean, there's some things that are actually running decently well. We got a big ass house over here. Hopefully, we can find the main central city, and then maybe that can make a difference between the game running like shit or the game not running like shit. So, walking around. Hello, zombie. Just gonna walk past you. Some mountains over there. It's actually been forever since I played the default map in this game. The RAM usage is still slowly climbing as 7 Days to Die works, is that RAM usage will slowly climb over time. Just because that's how it works. It caches things in the background. We have a big structure over here. It's like some sort of supermarket. So this can be a good telling, of course, frame times and stuff. I have seen some reduction in like spikes. I've definitely noticed that at the start. So I'm very familiar of how this game caches things, and recording at the same time can also make a difference as well. So it is staying relatively smooth, I think. Killed that zombie in one shot. So here is this area right here. Getting a little bit closer to it, you'll start to. When I peek my head in here, you'll really see those spikes actually happening because zombies are actually spawning inside of the building. So some loot here. Dumpster. We got some items. Oh, we got a door locked here, so we actually build something, but we can't because we don't have proper materials to build anything. So we're probably gonna have to go through a window or something. And then hit the mannequin boob right there. There we go. We are now in. Whole bunch of zombies just spawned in. We got a little spike there. Nothing too bad. Got a gun store over here. Got some armor. We're still getting alright frame rate. I mean, it's with a lot of zombies around, we're not getting all that too many spikes. And oh my god, there's a lot of zombies. Oh yep. That is not good. Get like a weapon or something. Perfect bone knife. That will come very in handy. Okay. A lot of zombies running around. We're spiking up to about 47. It's still staying relatively stable. Oh god! Scared the shit out of me. As you can tell, not the greatest at this game, but I am making it work. We gotta run out here. I mean, yeah, it's running stable enough. RAM usage is a little bit high, but that's how 7 Days to Die works. Its RAM usage is high, but CPU is actually staying relatively load has actually been reduced. So yeah, 7 Days to Die runs fine. I guess we could try out like Battlefield 5 or something crazy. So anyway, that pretty much concludes 7 Days to Die. Runs just fine as it normally would, and guess I'll be diving into something a little bit more demanding like Battlefield 5 or something like that. So tuned. Right, some Battlefield. Okay, we are playing Battlefield 5 here so far. Seems quite smooth enough. I mean, oh god. CPU and GPU usage seem alright. A little bit high, but should be alright. I did actually uncap the frame rate, and I have no clue if my NVIDIA settings are actually just not carrying over, or if maybe something happening, but still says my FPS is capped. So if I do frame raw FPS boolean true, see, look, I'm still relatively locked at 60. Still says that I'm at 60, even though I've uncapped it, but latency does seem like it's lower. I definitely feel it. So this is with future frame rendering on. So if I actually turn off future frame rendering, let's see what happens. Go down to here, go up to advanced, turn future frame rendering, turn this off. And now watch. It's jumping down maybe about 55, 54, 40. That's future frame rendering does actually make an impact on the game. So if you want the most amount of frames, I'd say probably turning on future frame rendering, I think, really does help. It does seem like most of the spikes are happening because of future frame rendering not on, but it definitely does seem a decent experience overall. It doesn't seem like it's overly laggy or anything. Definitely seems like it's... I got sniped. Definitely seems like it's stable enough. But I think maybe hovering around... let's actually turn it back on future frame rendering, which definitely can help us here. See, look, the frame graph definitely smooths out a little bit more because we're actually having more of a... rendering more frames in advance, basically. But that does increase latency by a good chunk amount. And the input lag is not even noticeable at all. So far, Razer Cortex is actually alright. I mean, definitely seems like they have actually made their software actually okay this time, I think. And it's actually quite smooth. I didn't even know that dude there, but so far, seems alright. I mean, you can definitely tell that there is some decent optimization actually going on here, and that Razer Cortex actually isn't doing too bad. So if we lock our frame down to 60 again, let's see our if that actually does change. And so far, changes nothing. I mean, it seems like our... If I can actually kill this guy, that is. Probably gonna die to him. Shit, okay. I am recording, so that can also make a difference. Frame, FPS, performance, and stuff like that. So most of the time when you are using a NVIDIA or an AMD card with a good encoder, then mainly the performance decreases like 1 or 2% maybe. So also apologize if the game's too loud for you. I mean, it is relatively loud for me, so kind of running around in Battlefield seems to be running alright, seems to be playable enough. Settings I actually am running, so I will actually show you. Settings here, I am running everything on medium settings, and then I do have texture filtering on high because I kind of want things to blend a little bit better, but it seems to be running alright. CPU and GPU seem to be a little warm, especially the CPU, but it is relatively stable enough where you can actually enjoy the game and not have to worry about thermals too much. Because it is staying cool, and it is overall okay. Thermals, to me, you really need to worry about thermals, especially when it reaches up to around like maybe 80 degrees Celsius. Really need to be like, oh shit, my thermals. I need to keep conscious of this. So far, Razer Cortex seems to be working and doing its job well. So I don't know what's with the frame rate, but I really have to do more investigation on this. So anyway, I'm gonna be kind of exiting out of things and seeing if everything works. Brief game of Battlefield. So yeah, so far Razer Cortex seems to be actually okay. I mean, it seems kind of viable. So would I really use the software for basically using it every day? No, probably not. But it does seem like it is doing something. That something is either by reducing the amount of tasks that are running in the background or reducing your CPU. And it definitely is actually doing something, but is that up to the power plan, or is that actually Razer doing something? Well, we kind of don't really know, but if you are thinking about trying Razer Cortex, I would give it a look into it, but just don't sign in and use any other rewards. Just use it as a glorified game booster, if you will. But if you're still on the fence of game boosters, you don't have to use Razer Cortex. Remember, I did give it a 4, so it's if you have good success with it, maybe have some good frame rate increases, then go on ahead. I'm not gonna shame you for using it because honestly, it's just a piece of hardware, and we don't have to fight over a piece of hardware anyway. Linux users, sorry, Linux is amazing, but hardcore Arch Linux users, yeah, they will come in a hate rate. So anyway, I guess I'm done here. Razer Cortex was overall okay, and it worked. Some gaming benchmarks and seems to be working all right. Thermals a little bit iffy on, well, that's mainly the quick CPU power plan maybe. Uh, I'll see how thermals are, especially with using like the balanced power plant and maybe using process lasso, which I'm definitely going to do a video about and see if that actually does help performance. And yeah, that's pretty much all for the video I have for today, actually tonight. So I wanted to make something quick, not really quick to throw at as it's easy to make, but I kind of wanted to just make a video of me coming back because I have been absent for a little while, because mostly because of laziness. Channel, my last video upload I think was me playing Halo Infinite on the system to be exact. So and I know it was a little bit different, didn't get that much views, but I'm all right with it because it was just something I wanted to say. Here, I'm just gonna throw something up here. I will probably do less of that, just throwing a video up and seeing what it does. This is kind of just out of curiosity, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say about Razer Cortex. If you have any opinions or thoughts about it, you can leave them in the comment below. I'll try to respond to each and every one of them. I'll read them, and also if you do see some bots or anything like that, just ignore them, report them in mass. That's all you got to do. Don't pay any attention to them. Just don't fall for any of their links. Just highlight the bot, report it, done. Don't pay attention to it. So yeah, that's it for Razer Cortex, and I hope you enjoyed and somehow found this useful, so maybe some useful information, and hope you learned something out of it. That's pretty much all I hope for. So you have a good night, and I will probably see you the next one. Peace out. Shit, I hit the wrong button.